Hey y'all, welcome back as we continue walking through the book of Joshua together. We are moving into chapter 12 today in Joshua, and this chapter is kind of like one of those trophy cases that you see in high school hallways with all the trophies and achievements. God intervened repeatedly so that Israel would obtain victory, just as he does for us every single day, even while we sleep. And we'll go ahead and move into chapter 12, starting in verse 1. These are the kings east of the Jordan River who had been killed by the Israelites and whose land was taken. Their territory extended from the Arnon Gorge to Mount Hermon, included all the land east of the Jordan Valley. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, was defeated. His kingdom included Aroer on the edge of the Arnon Gorge and extended from the middle of the Arnon Gorge to the Jabbok River, which serves as a border for the Ammonites. This territory included the southern half of the territory of Gilead. Sihon also controlled the Jordan Valley and regions to the east, from as far north as the Sea of Galilee to as far south as the Dead Sea, including the road to Beth Jeshimoth and southward to the slopes of Pisgah. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Rephaites, lived in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled a territory stretching from Mount Hermon to Selecah in the north and to all of Bashan in the east, and westward to the borders of the kingdoms of Geshur and Maacah. This territory included the northern half of Gilead as far as the boundary of King Sihon of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites had destroyed the people of King Sihon and King Og, and Moses gave their land as a possession to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh. The following is a list of the kings that Joshua and the Israelite armies defeated on the west side of the Jordan, from Baal Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir. Joshua gave this land to the tribes of Israel as their possession, including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. The people who lived in this region were the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings that Israel defeated: the king of Jericho, the king of Ai near Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezor, the king of Debior, the king of Gerar, the king of Hormah, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makkedah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tepuah, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shemron Meron, the king of Akshaph, the king of Taanach, the king of Megiddo, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the town of Nephath Dor, the king of Goyim in Gilead, the king of Tirzah. In all, 31 kings were defeated. Joshua reviews this detailed list of the names of some of the kings who had been defeated, and 33 kings in total are actually named in the list in its entirety, including the 2 that were defeated when Moses was still alive. Verses 9 through 16 list the southern defeated kings, and verses 17 through 4 list the northern defeated kings. It was the Lord, and the Lord alone, who brought them to the victory. Other than Gibeon, the land was conquered, and the enemy was destroyed. They cut through the center, and then they overtook the southern cities, and then followed with the northern cities, just as the Lord instructed them to do. It was the Lord's strategy. The promises of God encouraged the entire mission as they followed the Lord's lead in radical faith. The fulfillment of the prophecy promising this land in Genesis 12 happened through Joshua's leadership under God's authority. Israel started with one man and grew exponentially because of God. Joshua didn't let short-term gains stop him or deter him from long-range goals and direction. Joshua understood the need others have for visible and tangible encouragement. He took no shortcuts, and he didn't allow early errors and sins to unsettle him or defeat him. He didn't get stuck. He didn't get stuck in sin. He repented, and he kept running forward. Joshua believed God completely at his word. He was strong and courageous, and he followed God's lead in every step and with every exhale. Joshua obeyed wholeheartedly and completely out of complete devotion to and trust in our Almighty God, the God who fights for you. And He fights for you. He is working continuously. He is moving. He is mighty. And we need to view every battle through the lens of God's eye and trust Him because He's given us the victory. The victory is ours if we're willing to trust Him and claim it. Thanks, y'all. I hope you're having a glorious day in the Lord.